coming to you with a mukbang. Not live, but I figured I'll do it this way because I haven't done one in a while. I don't know. Live seems kind of easy, but it seems like I get carried away and I don't know when to shut up. And so I figure if I do it this way, I'll just kind of, grumpy hubby actually help me out with this little setup. I got my coffee and cream, heavy whipping cream I have, with liquid stevia and just coffee. I don't do the whole bulletproof. I don't add fat to my food. What I have today, and I've been cooking this since early this morning in my crock pot. I first had it on low, then I put it on high. No, I didn't take any pictures or do any kind of recipe type inserts for you. Like I said, I'm just kind of getting back into the hang of this. But what this is, as the title states, this is a beef roast or a beef chuck roast. Pot roast, what I'm calling it, and it has cabbage in it. You could add other vegetables if you want, but I'm on a ketogenic diet, so I'm not trying to eat that. I would definitely say this is enough greens for a whole day if I can eat it all. I just put it in the pot with some beef bouillon and a couple little various condiments, I think everything seasoning, garlic powder, beef bouillon. Pretty much that's what it is. And the reason for that, condiments have carbs, so there are carbs in the cabbage, but it's also fiber. So all your green leafy vegetables are okay. So this is a healthy mukbang for anybody who wants to know. So for any of you keto police people out there, you want to come at me, hey, I'm trying. Today's like is it day 4 or 5? I forget. I got all screwed up, and that's where like the whole chat thing comes in. I got all screwed up because night before last? Day before last, I think Tuesday, yeah. I went, it was either Monday or Tuesday. I don't even know now, okay? I've been sleeping because trying to make up for lost timing, and the anxiety that I went through from what I'm about to tell you guys was just so horrible for me that anyways, you'll see what I'm talking about. I was up all night long, this, that, and the other thing, and I was in some extreme anxiety because I was almost down 8 paws. And I say that because, well, my babies, my dogs, both got out somehow. Still a mystery. Don't know how. I'll get to that in a minute. I left, I want to say before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Very good. And I went run a couple errands and then went to Aldi's, and then I came home, and I want to say it was around almost 5:30 because hubby had just gotten out of work, and that's around the time he gets out of work. And I come home and I open my garage door, the outside garage. I have a double car garage, and I open the door, and the inside door that leads into my kitchen, then into the house, was open a little bit. And usually there's a time or two where my mom would stand at the door and open the door for me as if I needed help if I was bringing in groceries or something. Though she didn't know I planned on making a grocery trip. But in any case, I get out of the car and I yell to her to close the door before the cats come out. I'm not thinking the dogs are going to come out. I'm not worried the dogs are going to come out. I'm worried the cats are going to come out. Or now that I know she's not there because I'm yelling to her to close the door and nobody's closing the door, I'm thinking the cats are in there. Let me hurry up and close the door that leads outside, the big garage door. So I close the garage door and I go in the house and I proceed to go do a head count. Callie, Pickle, Blue, and Domino. So those 4 were in the bedroom. So I see all my cats are accounted for. My mom's helping me count. I don't even think to even look at that the dogs aren't on the couch where they normally lay. They're indoor dogs. Very, very spoiled. I have to take a bite. All of a sudden I'm like, where's the dogs? So now I run to the back to the sliding glass door that leads to the backyard where we'd normally let them out. I said, did I leave them out there in this freaking cold weather? And they're not out there. So now I'm wondering, where are the dogs? I could see them getting out into the garage from the kitchen door that was open. But the garage was closed. How did they get out? Where did they go? My mom says she didn't open the door. She didn't go anywhere. I don't know that she just didn't want us to get upset at her that she did accidentally let them out and didn't realize it, or what the case may be. So I'm trying not to place blame. But it's a mystery how they got out. I know for a fact that I closed that garage door when I left because I backed up to my mailbox, checked my mailbox, and hubby had like a miniature mailbox for Christmas that was decorated, some Christmas shit, on top of the mailbox. And it was there with like these little Velcro tabs. And I took one of the Velcro tabs off. And I clearly remember looking over to make sure, because I always make sure that the garage door closes all the way before I leave. Because we have a bunch of minions that run around here, outdoor cats. And we don't want them in our garage because if they like spray or something, it's going to smell. It's going to come through the vents, whether we're running the air or the heat. We don't want that. When I come up the street coming home, I have the garage door open built into my car, and it's very, very highly sensitive. I can open it from kind of like, I would say, if there were houses there, a good 3-4 properties away. But I particularly know where it was I started to open the door and pull up, and I got out. And I checked the mail, and I didn't see any dogs running. And one of them would have came to me and ran to me anyways if they would have just at that moment got out. I would have seen them. Well, lo and behold, I did find out from my neighbor across the street that they saw my dogs but didn't know it was my dogs. And then the nurse guy, they said that he thought the dogs was going to bite him. She didn't recognize the dog. He lunged with a foot to scare him, and they ran up towards the main highway over here, which is just a 2-lane road. It's a boulevard, whatever you want to call it. But it's a main throughway in this area, and it's very, 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 very busy, especially inundated with traffic around a certain hour when people are coming home from work. Anyways, I called my husband before I even found this out from her, and I said, honey, did you come home and pick up the dogs and take them with you? Which he's never done. He said, why are you asking? And I said, I can't find the dogs. He starts crying hysterically. Now, please don't call him a wussy. He loves his animals. They're our kids. We're married 26 years. We don't have any children. Those are our kids. Especially, I have to say, the shepherd. We raised him since he's only 3 weeks old because we got him from a puppy mill here in the area we live. I would have bought all of them. It was actually a little bit later this time of the year, like January 20-something, when we got him 4 years ago. He was a tiny little puppy. His ears barely pop. If I can, I'll insert some pictures. So you can see what it looked like when he was a baby. And he had some problem with his tail and his paws, and we spent a lot of money and a lot of time in getting him just right. But we raised him, and our vet told us that the cats were the ones that were going to raise him, that he wasn't going to get the general instincts like other dogs maybe because he wasn't being raised by the pack. By the way, he's a German Shepherd, probably mixed a little bit with Husky, even though I don't see that, but that's what we were told when I went to look at, the pups, not knowing, it was a cold night out, it was freezing out 4 years ago here, and these little puppies, and there was only 2 left, and, knowing that it was so cold, I wanted to buy the other one, but they said it was already, somebody else had already had dibs on it, so I didn't realize how young they were. I was so excited to get him that I didn't count, and they said, well, we think he was born on December 28th, and here it was January 20th. It wasn't even like 4 weeks, And I'm thinking because his ears hadn't popped up, he wasn't even that old. But we bottle raised him, and I took him with me everywhere I went. And everybody loved him and accepted the fact that I had a new baby and it needed to go with mama to be bottle fed on a constant basis. And there was nobody else that could take care of him, and I needed. Hold on. I have paper towels behind me, but with this little thing in the way, I'll never get to them. Gotta get used to this. So anyways, this is funny. Hubby brought me a fork, and he brought me a fork. So now I have 2 forks. I could actually double fork it. So I didn't think he had the general instincts to be out there in the first place. Now, I'm searching high and low. He's searching high and low after rushing home to get home in rush hour traffic. I'm scared to death they're going to get hit by a car. I eventually see her a few streets down, but she was right by the boulevard, and I pulled my car in to try to stop her to come to me so she wouldn't go into the boulevard. And she's my dog, and she generally come right to me. Even if she ran out, she would come. I'd call her and tell her Cookie, and she'd come right to me. She looked at me like she didn't even know me, like I was some stranger who was trying to pick her up, and she wasn't going to have any of that. And she hightailed it into, we have a lot of empty lots with woods, and she hightailed it into this one area, going further away from my block. And I just tried to stay in that general area. Now, at least I had seen her. The new nurse, changing shifts from the lady across the street, my neighbor, came up the street, found me, and said, I saw the black one, the shepherd, on the other side of the boulevard by the canal. And when I say canal, this is not like any canal where I grew up in Miami Canal. This is a canal that has like a 6 to 8 foot drop straight down. No incline. Okay, like you walk off the edge of that, you're going down, and that's it. And I don't see anywhere to like swim out, and I don't even know if he could swim because I took him swimming at the beach when they were puppies. So I didn't know, could he swim? What? And I'm thinking the worst. Panicking is really more the word for it. So I'm looking everywhere. My husband's looking everywhere. I post on a neighborhood area group that I have on Facebook for my area to let people know. Please be on the lookout. Crazy. When you want to find a picture of your dog in an emergency, when you have millions of them all over your computer because every day you take pictures of all your fur babies, and then you're in a panic and you can't even find a decent picture. That's what I was going through. Then my phone dies, runs out of battery power. So now I'm freaking out because I need to be outside, not inside at my computer. I need to be manning the phone and trying to find my dog. And I'm freaking out. I am so freaked out, it's not even funny. My husband's hysterical crying. My mother's hysterical crying. I'm the only one holding it together as far as not crying. But I really wasn't holding it together. My anxiety was just, I never felt like that. I've had some anxiety taking place with me where I can't sleep. But this was an anxiety that was like, my mind was racing and all the worst thoughts were rushing into my mind. And I was like in a hurry to try to find either one of them before something bad happened. All the while, as I'm driving around, looking off to the side of the road, thinking the worst happened, that one of them got hit, and I'm going to find them on the end of the road, and I'm playing this scenario in my mind, and I get out of the car, I run over, I grab my baby, and oh my God, because that's what I imagine would have happened. That's not me, guys. Usually I'm very optimistic, and I try not to think about the negative, because I feel like if you think about the negative's going to come. I couldn't help it. So anyways, now keep in mind, this all happened at around, I don't know, like I said, almost 5:30. And it's starting to get dark, and it's getting colder, and it's going to be the coldest night that Florida's seen in a very long time. It's supposed to drop down to 36. It did. But I ain't that far ahead in the story yet. We're both out there. This particular area where we live has a lot of lots that are for sale, you know? They're empty, but they're not empty. They're not cleared. There's a lot of those little, I don't know what you call those, little palm trees. And they have these palm berries that grow on them, which are medicinal. And every year when they come into season, we get a lot of these people who will come around in their little minivans and whatnot with their little sacks and try to fill as many, because they sell those. They make money to pick them. So somebody somewhere buys these little berries. And this is not, to me, it's not the kind of woods you want to walk around in, because I think there's snakes in there and things that you really don't want to run into, you know? But in any case, my dogs were all up in all these woods. I know I saw her hightail it, like I said. She looked like she was after a rabbit, and she was a greyhound. And, you know, I'm calling, Coda, Duchess, come get Cookie, come get your toy. You know, all the things that I know that they come to, you know, when they go outside in our backyard, which we don't let them anywhere but our backyard. We have an 8-foot, was it an 8-foot or 6-foot? I don't know, it's very high. I think it's an 8-foot privacy fence. It's a wood fence. And it's all the way sealed to the bottom, all the way around. They can't get out. And if they got out on the one side where they used to try to get out, they would have just met with another gate, which is my neighbor and very best friend. Lo and behold, 10 o'clock comes around. My husband's, oh my God, Duchess is home. And he's waiting to see behind her, maybe Coda came behind her. No Coda. Now I'm worried he's out there by himself, and it's getting colder, and he doesn't have her. Now, she was raised with her pack. We got her from friends of mine. She was born in November. He was born in December, supposedly. Like I said, I got him in January, and I got her probably February or March. You know, he was a little older. He already, you know, he already learned some tricks and stuff. He used to get his toys and put them away. When I tell him, pick up your toys and put them away, he'd go pick them up and put them away. He doesn't do that anymore, but he used to. I was now distraught because now he's alone. And I don't know if he has the instincts that she has. And the only thing I can think to do to keep myself a little bit on the sane side is to say to my husband, see, I told you she was going to be the smarter one of the two. Because it took her a little longer than it took him as far as like learning not to do certain things in the house. You know, have little accidents and whatnot. He never, ever has an accident in the house. But she still, to this day, will, on occasion, have a little accident in the house. Like, I don't call it an accident. I say it's spite. But call it what you will. It's still an accident. Anyways, I go out. Now, my husband, he suffers from some stuff that the stress, he passed out. He had to take his meds, and his meds made him pass out. So, okay, I give him that. He went to sleep. My mom went into her room, had the TV going, and was playing her games. She plays Pogo or whatever, or Facebook games, I don't know. And I said, there is no way I'm going to sit here in the comfort of this house, in the warm, you know, heating, the heater was on, and watch TV or do anything and just wait. I'm going out and I'm looking for my dog. So I got in the car. I think I grabbed some coffee and I grabbed a handful of almonds or whatever. And I went out in my car and I started driving and I started driving. And every now and again, because nobody, you know, there was really nobody that I could call to say, hey, you know, did he come home yet? So I'd drive back every now and again. It didn't even matter if I was like 8 miles away. I'd drive 8 miles back, check, make sure that he wasn't outside, wasn't home. And I'd get back in the car and I'd go right back out. There wasn't even like a minute between, you know, my coming back to the house and checking and then getting back in my car and leaving. And I did that several times. So, I'm out. I'm going everywhere. I start traveling down this one road, and as I'm on the road, something told me, look at your phone, which is now a little charge to it, and plugged it in to my car. And I look at it, and somebody tagged my name to a post where another lady had posted that they seen a black and tan shepherd on the corner of such and such street and such road. They tried to catch him, but he got scared and he took off and went into the woods. Well, I'm assuming that was like an hour before I'm seeing a post that said 30 minutes. I was tagged only 33 minutes from the time I looked at that post, but that post was an hour and something. And I'm trying to find out, well, which way into the woods did he run? But at least I got a little bit more of an idea of now what area he might be in. Now, this, mind you, is about 4-point-something miles away from where my house is. So I'm already on this main road that they're talking about, and I'm heading in that direction because my thought was go get some gas, and there's a Sunoco gas station up on the main road. I'm going to get gas, and I'm luckily on this road, and then I see this news, and so I'm over in that area. Well, I go and I do whatever I can. I'm telling people, they're taking my numbers, this, that, and the other thing, and I still got this group out there waiting. They are both microchipped, and I have them with a company called Home Again, which was also, I called them earlier in the evening before Duchess even got home. I had them put the general APBs out on both dogs with their picture and everything. They put them out to veterinarians and all that in the area, so I don't have to do that and think about that. Great service. So I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. I'm looking and I'm looking. And almost 3 a.m. I'm near this park and I see an officer and I'm thinking, well, he's going to think that I'm trying to stalk somebody's house or something because I'm out there at that time in the morning and what am I doing out there? So I went, introduced myself to the officer, said, hey, officer, good morning. You know, just letting you know I'm out here looking for my dog. He's a German Shepherd, yada, yada, black and tan, in case you see him. But that's what I'm out here doing in case you see me. And I begin to tell him the story. So he says, well, let me get your number, and if I see him, I'll let you know. And he goes, oh, by the way, I'm not 100% positive, but I was just doing a traffic, which I guess means like a ticket or whatever, on such and such road, and Homestead Road in Alabama. So I was like, okay. I went over there. I'm looking in all the plazas where lights are on, places I think he might try to go for cover, places he might try to go to get a little something to eat or some water, anywhere, you know, or anywhere that I might have been that he might be tracking even my scent to, because, you know, I'm always, you know, I go to Walmart, I go to the Family Dollar, you know, I go to all these different places. So, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, let me go to places I've been before. So I start to travel back home, going a different route now so I can check again the long way, you know. And I'm going to go home. Now, I know it's after 3 o'clock, 3 something, and I'm going to go back home and get a warm up on my coffee. Speaking of coffee. So I'm going to get a warm up on my coffee, then I'll go back out. My whole intentions was if my dog is not with me when I come home, I'm not coming home to stay. I might go back there to check to see if he's there, this, that, and everything, but I ain't going home. Because I'm not going to be comfortable knowing, you know. When I saw that officer it was 2:54 because I even made comment about the time to the officer. It was 36 degrees out already. So, now, it's a big chunky piece of cabbage. So as I'm coming back home, down that big boulevard, I'm telling you, I was scared that they even crossed. I make the left turn onto my block, and not even about 5 feet up, I see my dog. But at that point, I'm like in shock that I see anything. I don't know, is it my dog or is it a coyote? We do have, wild animals that run around. This is Florida, but it's just that there's so many different open lots and sanctuaries and places, and plus this thing that is a animal sanctuary, sort of, that's protected. We have a lot of wildlife out there. So I see him standing there, and he looks kind of like he's looking this as if to say, is this my block or not? And he's kind of looking down towards my house, but kind of like then smelling like he was on the trail or something, but he wasn't sure. And when I pulled up and he took one look and I called him by name, he started to run and take off. And there was like 2 houses. There's actually 3 houses on my right, but the first 2 he tried to run to and realized there was a fence, so he kept staying in the front yards of the next house after. And then this other house, which there was just woods to the side of it and to the back of it. And he was going to hightail it back to the street behind me through that backyard or side yard of that house. And I had his bones with me, and I shook them, and he stopped and took a few feet back towards the front of that house. And he looked, and I said, come on, boy. He ran to me, so happy to see me. And when he got around, because I was grabbing his leash, and he ran around to the door and just crying and whining. He was so happy to finally know that he made his way home. I could just imagine what he was thinking, how lost he had gotten himself. If he was 4 miles or God knows how many miles more in the opposite direction, way the heck out where, like I said, he was reported being seen. He wouldn't get in the car, though. He was scared. He's scared of the car. I got him finally to get in the back seat after putting the leash on him. I get him home. His sister's barking in a way she doesn't normally bark. Grumpy Face, a.k.a. Nova, is crying. My husband gets up, and as I come in through the garage door, he sees his dog, and he's just like, oh my God, thank you. I mean, we didn't even yell at them or anything. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Like, how are they going to learn their lesson? I never yell at them for, like, stupid stuff, mistake in the house, something chewed up. They get away with everything. They're really spoiled. I was just so happy to see him, So the dogs are home finally, and that was like at 3:30 in the morning, finally. And then I had to get on the computer and start posting to Facebook, to everywhere I had posted, to everyone I had posted, to those people who had posted my post, shared it. He was found, she came home at 10, everything, As it was happening, I was trying to let them know, and so here I was up till I don't know what time. And the next day, trying to sleep, having gone through all that anxiety and that panic and all that other stuff. I've been out of it for the last couple of days. And I had my landlord coming to check out the house. And I have some serious case of OCD, so I was like, oh, he's going to come in the house. He knows how clean I am. So it's not like he wouldn't know how clean I am, even though I got pets. But I just wanted to be clean. Like if somebody knows you're clean, you want to stay on that track record kind of thing. I don't know what I was thinking. He didn't even look at some of the areas of the house that I cleaned, but at least the house is all organized and clean. I don't know if you can see behind me. Which way am I going to go? This is always on the opposite. So already 30 minutes it took me to tell this whole freaking story, even though I'm probably going to edit it out. Got my Christmas cards that way. It's funny. I know where they are behind me this way, but when I look in the camera, it screws me all up. Little stinkers. So their daddy take them into the bedroom with him, into my bed. I share it with Grumpy Hubby, but he takes them into the bed. They lay all over the bed. Coda, particularly the German Shepherd, he lays right on my freaking pillow, takes up like my side of the bed. There is no laying in bed. And I figure with what they went through, they crashed. They didn't move. Normally they would get up and they would try to eat cat food or cat poop or something. They didn't move. They just stayed there in that bed. I slept here on this couch, right over here on this side. it's a very uncomfortable couch, but it's a motion couch, so this side of it isn't blocked by anything. You can open it up. So that's what I did. It wasn't as comfortable. I couldn't find my 2 little pillows that are over here on the side, the little sequin pillows. Hubby had last been in there before me and shoved them down the back of the couch, so I didn't know, and I was very uncomfortable, but I didn't care. They were home, and nothing else mattered. You know, that's how happy I was that they were home. So now the shepherd is having a problem, and I think I might have to take him to the vet, because in my mind, he might have gotten hit, even the slightest bit, or he's just probably tired from doing all that walking, because if he made it even 5 miles from here and 5 miles back, that's 10 miles. And this is a dog that never, even though he's a runner and he loves to run, we live in a 1/4 acre. So the backyard is a good half of that 1/4 acre, and they run. You know what I'm saying? They love to go out there and they play and they roll around in the dirt and in the grass and whatnot, and they play. Maybe you pet parents could, you know, relate to what I felt, you know, or maybe you parents, you know, because I think these are, to me, are my kids. I'm married 26 years and we don't have any, you know, human children. Our children have always, always, always been our fur babies or our feather babies or our scale fishy babies. You know, I have a couple of fish in a 10-gallon tank. I got a bird, a parrot, which some of you have heard. I got 2 dogs. My mom has 1 little dog. And then we have 6 cats. Oh, and then we have a bunch of minions outside. There you have it. This is going into 40 minutes. And see, still, I don't shut up even though it's not alive. So I want to take some Advil, finish drinking my coffee. Probably should give up on the food because now I'm full. But as you can see, I ate quite a bit of it. I didn't give you guys all a good, like, bite look, you know. Because it's kind of soupy. But let's see if a little cabbage with a little meat. Oh, good. It's not dripping. Look.
See that? One bite.
Anyways. Last but not least, before I go, I want to remind everybody, if you haven't already subscribed, please click the button down below and do so. Make sure you click on the bell so you can be notified of all new videos as I put them up, and or any lives that I might stream. I think you'll be notified. Click like if you like this video. I know it's kind of depressing because the whole dog story and losing them or almost losing them and everything, so don't dislike it. I don't think that helps me any. I don't think I'm all that entertaining, but, you know, we're more critical of ourselves no matter what it is we do, so I should shut up about that right now because I can go on and on about how I think I'm boring and don't have anything interesting to say, and maybe whoever's watching me or already subscribed to me thinks otherwise, and I do appreciate that for those that are subscribed. I also want to welcome my new subscribers. You know who you are. Too many to kind of mention. And I think I'm coming somewhere close to 900 subscribers, and I want to do a giveaway. Be looking for that soon, because as soon as I hit the 900 mark, I'm doing a giveaway. With that said, be happy, be healthy, be beautiful, but just be you. Be the boss of your loss if you're on a weight loss journey, and I will definitely be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Be blessed.